Thanks.
Thank you.
Cops around the country now have a high-priced alternative to high-speed chases. Have you heard about car chase cannons? Car chase cannons. Wait until you see this. High-speed car chases may be part of just about every awesome action movie you have ever seen, but in reality, they could soon be a thing of the past. Cops in several states are launching GPS rockets at moving vehicles in order to better track them while they're in hot pursuit. Sounds so dangerous. It still sounds like something from a movie to me as well. Fox News' Dan Springer is live in Seattle with the details. Dan, tell me exactly how this works.
It sounds so ominous, doesn't it? Like
Yes.
these cannons out there shooting rockets. Well, actually, cost is actually a concern for departments, as it should be. They're looking into this technology. But I have to tell you, Melissa, that the departments are also very intrigued at the possibility of being able to catch these bad guys who are fleeing a lot more safely. It's an air cannon, a GPS unit, and some really super sticky glue. We got a demonstration in Iowa where the State Patrol just started using one of these things. The air cannon is mounted to the front of the patrol car. It can hold 2 rounds. And when the officer gets to within about 50 feet, he fires, and the heated glue ball causes that unit to stick. The cop can then call off the high-speed chase and track the suspect from a safe distance and speed. And this is pretty cool. If he's out on patrol, when the criminal takes off, if he's out of that car, he can fire the GPS using a remote keypad.
A suspect will usually slow down to the posted speed limits. They will try to blend in with the other cars. They don't want to be noticed anymore. They're thinking that they got away from us.
But they've really only delayed their arrest. So far, police in Iowa are 2 for 2, and it's also been used 11 times successfully to make arrests this way in Texas, Austin, Texas. Although an officer there tells me that there are some limitations, like their officers will not fire in the rain or at a car that's swerving or turning. But they're all in favor of lowering the number of high-speed pursuits, which kill a person a day in the U.S., and 42% of the time, the victim is an innocent motorist or bystander. The product and the company that makes the system are called Star Chase.
It allows the officers to really use different tactics on what would be a traditional pursuit, but just run it differently and lower the adrenaline, lower the risk. And it allows everybody to make better decisions, even the criminal.
But your show is about money, so we got to talk about the downside of this. They are not cheap. The cannon costs $5,000, and then every time they fire one of those sticky GPS units, that's another $250. But I tell you, there are people from Seattle down to L.A. who are looking at the possibility of this, at least on a short-term test basis, to see if it can work, because we know those chases are very, very dangerous.
I mean, I have so many questions. What if that thing hits the back window of the car? Like, does it break it? Also, cars come in so many shapes and sizes, and there's weather conditions.
Yeah.
I mean, could it hit a Prius in the snow?
Well, if you're driving a Prius in the snow and you're trying to evade the cops, you got more problems than this thing. But no, seriously, you know, that's the big concern for folks out here in Washington State, because as you may have heard, it rains a little bit out here.
Yeah.
And so they're not exactly jumping all in with this thing, because our cars are wet and muddy. So they want to be able to see. But apparently that glue in that GPS cannon is heated up just before that thing is shot. And so it's hot and it's sticky, and apparently it does stick most of the time. But as I said, the folks out in Austin will not shoot it because it's not cheap. $250 every time you shoot it. You're not going to fire it if it's not going to stick, right?
No, if it hits a person, hits the back window. There are a lot of questions, but it is very interesting to say the least. Thank you so much.
All right.
Up next.